skills, flashing them off. That, to me, that's where you got to go. You're not making any ground towards lower whatsoever. The ramp pushes towards Flamey aren't working out. Simples, it's in your head. I want to see set pieces now. Take the time out. That's what's worked out for them. But the problem is, Alex, we said, if they didn't win that round, money was destroyed. The round they did win, all 5 players go down. It leaves them about $3,000 going into round number 11 here. And they're 9-1 down in their map pick. They haven't turned up to this grand final so far.
Henry, G2 have 1 opening duel success in 10 rounds of play
Not
here.
a good stat you want to hear. Not against this Na'Vi.
Certainly not on the T side of Nuke. So many opportunities, but every single one of them has landed flat. Malik, it's his turn. His 3rd attempt, by the way. That's 3 timeouts in 10 rounds on our opening map of this grand final. That's G2 flustered. There's no doubt about it. Everything points towards it. And this round should be the 10th for Na'Vi. Very little G2 can say about it. A couple of Desert Eagles thrown towards the brawn of Na'Vi.
CZs, P250, no nades. Another grim outlook here for G2. Bomb waiting towards T-spawn as Electronic. He's ready and waiting for a few more duels. This guy really has had a rise to notoriety in the last 6 months. It's amazing how good he's got. He said at one point he thinks he can be better than Simple. I think there's an argument to be made that he could do that. Everyone on Na'Vi right now is just looking unstoppable.
And I mean, you know, I'm always a sucker for an underdog. I think that happens as soon as you have a British birth certificate.
Of course.
But Perfecto, just seeing the fact that, you know, it wasn't, what, 6 months ago I was casting him at the Berlin Minor for Simon
So
Gaming,
yeah.
and he's now in the grand final of Katowice. It's just gorgeous, and it's Counter-Strike at its very best.
Nice work from Simple. It normally you'd overcommit to that one. Wait to the back of the come in, and the meat grinder is looking very efficient today. It absolutely destroys G2 at that point, and I like that from Simple. He could have gone down there. He could have gone for another swing, but he falls back. He brings them towards the rifles at that point. Another very clean round, demoralizing for G2 at this point. Perfect positioning, just as the HE lands in the middle of all of them as well. They barely inflict any damage towards the CT defense, as we have a full buy now, running out of time in this first half. On your own map pick, you're only getting one round in the first half. Things are going to be difficult to recover.
You can work with 10-5, 110%.
Yep.
But this is so crucial. Look at Kenny, knife out. He's planning to take a duel. We could see Kenny versus Simple.
Ouch.
Or Kenny versus Nade. Shrapnel lodged in his G2 esports jersey. He won't be able to find Simple just yet over the periphery of the smoke-only line towards Heaven. Simple opting for a little lower of an angle, and so 3 members of G2 forge a path towards Secret.
Simple looking towards those smokes for now. Doesn't know how many players have made it down exactly. We talked about Boomage here again. Same smoke, same outcome. It's going to be Electronic down there this time. He's got the AK-47 in hand. That really does scare me for G2. That guy is an absolute animal with the AK. Doesn't miss many. Jax. Howard's in the corner here, waiting to see the aggression. How long can they wait at this point? What's happening elsewhere on the map? We have got Nexa getting ready towards the ramp room. He's hoping they push towards the lobby. For some information. They are hoping they could actually maybe show enough down towards lower bomb site and push someone towards Squeaky Door. Not going to happen so far. Here comes Electronic. Spots one, jumps up, falls back. You can see the call being made as well, letting them come to him.
This looks so good. They're throwing the same nades they did for their top execute. It's finally fooling Na'Vi. 35 seconds. Bomb towards the lower site, and Electronic has to hold it. Oh, the flash perfect from Kenny.
Bomb down.
That's the bomb, and Flamey has to hold. He has to get in, though. Boomich is already drawing more blood, and with 25 seconds, this is all on Jax. His back turn, and that was the best chance we've seen in so many rounds, and it's stolen by Na'Vi.
Instead of taking the duels, they're working together. They're falling back to crossfires and just establishing such strong foundations across the map. It's very smart right now. It's all about that smoke towards Secret. G2 either need to get braver and just push through that smoke, because as soon as they locked off there and there's 4 players, the rotations come through. Players like Electronic and Boomich get set up, and you're not stopping them at this point. Simple watching the flanks as well. This is a nightmare. Go back to the executions. That's where you got your round. As we'll see them go to number 13 here. An upper rush through the Squeaky Door. Is it going to be the same sort of result? It looks like it will be, Alex. 2 more go down. The bomb to be dropped. It's a 5-on-3 before we can even get going in the round here. And that should be 12-1.
Oh my goodness. I thought the Na'Vi game yesterday was something you would not see for the rest of the year. A team all hitting their individual stride, their individual peak at the same time versus Astralis. Everything suggested that this would not happen again. And yet here we stand, 12-1 to start the grand final.
Boomic is 24 kills and 5 deaths, and we've played 13 rounds at this point.
Если не сейчас, то все, они
Absolutely
проебали.
insane.
Все, первую
Oh
карту.
my god, his ABR is at 187.
Сейчас они не возьмут
He
раунд,
hasn't really
и
missed
все
an
проиграли.
opportunity as of yet. Every shot he's
потому что
taking
экономика нет.
just seems to be landing.
Хотя
They're
у
not
Нави,
even
блядь,
firing back at this
уже
point.
там по
They're not
16
in this game.
He's having so much fun. I mean, to be fair, you know, think about the human element. He's grown up watching Na'Vi play Counter-Strike. He's
Они уже
aspired to do
обыграли
it.
самых
He's
сильных.
climbed
Они
the
обыграли
ranks for
Ликвидов,
many
выбили
years.
из
I've seen
турнира,
Boomic
Астралис
and
выбили
his
из турнира. Это
fledgling
были
years
фавориты.
at the Katowice
Виталити
gone.
выбили из
The
турнира.
qualifiers for Katowice, no less, and now he's in the final.
Пиздец, Бумыч
Boomic
опять
doing
минус
it
3
again. This
делает.
time versus the full buy.
Заиграют.
A taste of the flamey treatment from yesterday. A triple kill, bomb in his grasp, and there's nothing that G2 can say about it. In the first 20 seconds, the round is lost.
Boomic is now 7-0 in opening duels. Like, he hasn't gone down. He absolutely nails it every single time. 3 more added to his death count as we continue to see this marvelous play. Simple. He knows there's a chance Kenny has to look for the tiny little hole that's created in the door there, as he will be deploying a Molotov. Gives up his position at least, hoping that a CT will be close range towards there. Simple fires off a shot. Kenny, he'll answer back. Bigger hole now. It's just a bit of a mind game at this point, but Simple, he'll always be winning those by the looks of things here. And a knife kill. Okay, Amanek, that's something, I suppose. But now the 2 versus 1 ends in its logical conclusion. Another fast approach from G2. Big spray down from Boomic, and we go 13-1. Let's close out the execution, boys. The one that worked. The outside smokes, the Molotov's down. They've only tried that once, and it's got them around.
You're right, you're absolutely bang on. I mean, we talked about the frag and in-game leaders. We'll keep coming back to it, but at the moment, the contrast could not be any more hilarious. Between the 2 leaders in this grand final, we have Boomic on, let me get a double check on that, 27, Nexa on 1. But they are at both ends of the polar opposites of the spectrum right now, Henry.
They've just stabbed each other in spawn as well. So Nexus just got stabbed in spawn by a teammate. You really don't like to see it. Ramp rush.
And the nade lands!
Let's go, boys. Let's get another ace for
Опять Флейми, в том же месте минус 5 сейчас сделает.
Can he close things out in style? What a half this has been so
Да
far.
ладно.
Amanek is trying to deny it, but
Если его
Flamey
убьет.
wants blood.
Amanek, 1v5, he's gone as well. Of course, it's Boomic. Did he get the 30? Close, but not quite.
Он в том же месте сбрил, как Астралис сбрил, в том же самом месте сбрил.
40-1 map 1. The grand final delivers in one way. Let's see if G2 can in another when we return.
В том же месте, в том же коридоре, где я сбрил Астралис, минус 4. Они выиграли первую половину 14-1, охуеть. Потоп вообще.
Gather the energies, pull yourself back together and stay off track forever. Child of the nation, with seek redemption, time for salvation. Today is meant to be day of victory, time for history. Rebel's a tendency, fight the entropy, channel your reverie. You're praying for fortune to come. You're hearing the sound of the drums. It's too late to backtrack, get back, you're back now. Keep your feet on the ground and stand up. You've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you black out, out, out. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give what you got, show them how to make a miracle. Stand up, up. You've got what it takes to fight back, back. Don't stop until you back out, out. Give what you got, show them how to make a miracle. Go save your team, be a hero.
Просто обосрали, блядь, так сильно. Что, да не все, просто жестко разъебали очень сильно. Прям, вот знаешь, не ошибаются. Какую-то свою игру нашли и бреют там всех на нюке. На этой карте всех было. Мель, блядь, что-то не просыпается.
Stand up, you've got what it takes to fight back. Don't stop until you're black. I feel it inside. I'm reaching my stride. I'm standing my ground. I won't give in.
Counter-Strike brains around the world were concerned for G2 for map 2, Dust 2, when RV dominated yesterday. It looked like a map that they have had absolutely no fear in picking, and yet already in map 1, G2 stare down the barrel of a 14-1.
Yeah, you're absolutely dead on there. Nuke, I wasn't too worried about. I know Na'Vi can play it very efficiently, but their home map, I would say, is Dust 2. That's where this playstyle really works
I'm
out for them.
concerned.
I'm very concerned, Alex, but it all starts here. There is a
В
chance for
атаке они тоже
G2.
очень
Never write them
сильные.
out on the CT side of Nuke. It's their pick for a reason. They do have to win this pistol. I normally say it'd be a nice luxury. At this point, it's must win. Like, you can't go map point in round number 1 of the second half. And we'll see what they can do here with a couple of flashes. The C-set available. First kill for Electronic, though. NES is dropped, and don't shoot your teammates in the face. Shoot the enemy. That's more like it. Flamey will adjust, see a big smile on his face, but maybe not for long. Nexa will pull one back, and Jaxo rotating. Looking towards lower. Needs some headshots here. They haven't really got going at all. Jackson 6 kills and 15 deaths. He's probably near the top. He absolutely is. Top fragger so far. Speaking of which, Simple!
Пиздец, Simple
He gets it done. Slam dunk toward the secret steps, and that's going to be the round.
Simple's on Google Flights, fast flights to flash. Can't find
15-1.
a faster way to send G2 home. My God! That's the end of that. 15-1. Call it done. And start thinking about Dust 2. G2 would have to go for an unheard of comeback at this point to start off this grand final. It certainly would live up to the prefix should they do it, but
Нави
it
выиграли,
just
они
seems
обычно
like
так
too tall of an order. They're
еле-еле
asking
что-то
for
там,
a
блядь,
venti,
пытаются.
extra cream.
Oh my goodness. I love that from Flamey. This gives his team a little love
Я
tap in
думаю,
the
там
face.
не
It's too
без
easy for us
везения.
right now. I'm going to take you down to half HP, then I'll start killing them. Don't worry about it. It's all under control.
And in contrast, Nexa got stabbed by his teammate and caught a nade.
In the last round as well, just when he's having the roughest game of his career right now, 2-16, he gets stabbed at the back in that last round. But either way, this could be the final round here of the first map of our best of 5. A quick one to say the very least. 15-1 right now. We've got scouts, pistols, MP9. So UMP up against the 3 rivals here. Na'Vi, they seem to have found more discipline as time goes on in this tournament, and it's really shining at this point. Electronic, a bit of a master towards lower. Jaxto got his number. Alex still believing.
You need to see more of that Jack's precision. He has done some of the most ridiculous things. One of my favorite players to watch, alongside Hunter for their crosshair placement, just individually, mechanically, god tier, and yet made to look like fools here on the first map of our grand finals. Good damage inflicted by Hunter. Speak of the Devil, let's see if he can live up that devilish tag. He does have the support of Nexa. This crossfire, if they get it right. Attention now drawn towards main. Oh, but Simple, he stood his ground. He played it so well, but with the flash and the MP9, bomb is loose. G2, a necessary win, and Nexa, he's just doubled his kills in the round and more. A quad kill from Nexa, a necessity as they survive for one more round.
They keep the dream alive. It's going to take 13 rounds in a row. At this point, though, I've said this so many times while commentating these sort of games. When you know you've got a long series ahead of you, this isn't a best of 3. This isn't. This is a marathon, not a sprint, right? You want to try and get warmed up. You want to see, even though you know you've probably lost this map, take every round you can get. Take the wind out of their sails. Don't let them feel like they completely crushed you. If you can bring this back to a 16-5, 16-6, just have some convincing rounds under your belt, it's enough to get warmed up and just shake this one off.
Get them flustered. Get them wondering, get reminded what it feels like to not know what to do, because that's how G2 certainly have felt. They've had their fair share of those feelings in the opening half of our first map. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a best of 5. If you're enjoying this already, strap yourselves in. Anders and Moses pulling you through Dust 2 next. Get your friends involved. Counter-Strike going to be crowning a new champion of Katowice. It's only been 3 teams to lift the trophy here in the Spodek, a legacy tournament. Kenny still hungry for some damage in this first map. Boomich, though, just plodding straight into... Oh! The head of Jax just rolls, and he's looking for Kenny. Boomich, this is just ungodly, unsanitary. Wash your hands. 30 frags, round 18. Nexa will silence him, but still a 2v2. Excuse me, 3 players standing for G2.
That should be it. The fact they've removed the orb, they should have no problem dealing with Simple and Perfecto here. I say that with bated breath, though. Simple is heading towards heaven. Perfecto, T-lobby. To play towards Squeaky Door, that's Amanek. Nice positioning from Nexa. That should secure things now. Perfecto, 4 kills to his name. He hasn't really had a chance to find much more than that. Amanek to close things out. This was the force buy, remember, from Na'Vi to a full eco coming up next. G2 has a chance to stabilize at least, targeting their heads in this grand final.
Absolutely. Powerful Nexa as well. I'll remind you, he came to this half with 2 frags, now already 8. Just 3 rounds in. I mean, this is a lovely shot from Boomich. He gets the second. You notice his movement. He knows he's up against the sidearm of Kenny. Just wants to keep it dynamic, not let 2 consecutive bullets connect. And he has just found this air of confidence against the world's best. If Boomich can maintain this, I fear for anyone stepping into the ring versus Na'Vi today. Should be a freebie. This should be the 4th for G2. Should being the operative word. What the hell was that? Boomich already gets 1, but it does seem like Amanek has no issues confirming the round is theirs. 5 frags in quick succession and a good distribution as well for the SMGs. That's 600 bucks a pop.
I like the temperament from Malik as well. He's trying to keep morale high, clapping for every kill, and making sure they keep their heads in the game. He knows how long this grand final's going to be. Na'Vi, impeccable form once again. I didn't think it could be replicated from yesterday, but here we are. 15-4 as we enter round number 20 coming up next. This is going to be a pretty decent buy. Boomich, of course, using the Glock to great effect. He's got himself 31 kills.
First fire, no less, by the way.
Fire, yep.
I would be furious if this man is opening Squeaky and Glock burst firing me. Oh, with a full buy. A moment of peace. Waiting for the Molotov, and you can see Na'Vi's outside smoke line's in perfect. Innocent with it. Electronic to push, Kenny to hold. Now, yes, it's a 5v5, but we're interested in the duel and Electronic.
Ouch.
He wins it out. Big start for Na'Vi.
You can see the difference in angle there. Simple was holding a much tighter line, so he could take the shot and survive. Kenny was in a much more committed position, and Electronic, he doesn't miss many. Just absolutely beautiful towards lower. That Krieg is a weapon of mass destruction in his hands. 5 on 3, Hunter's low, next up. He knows he needs to hit this shot. Good grenade, but they exchange them. Boomich will drop down. 30 kills to his name, wants to join his teammates at this point. Looks to smoke towards main entrance. 50 seconds here. Is this where they close it out? It looks likely.
Looks like a main and secret collaboration. As I say that, Electronic has other plans. They know there's only 3 members of G2 left, so they're in absolutely no hurry. Waiting for a member of G2 to just toe out of line.
They need to react at this point. Nexus made the call. They're going to push towards lobby. Isolating Hunter here. He's a very strong player, but Boomich, he's just playing on another level at this point. He takes another one down, 5 versus 2. Next and Amanek both towards the lobby position. They've both been spotted now. Bomb going down. 1 more kill would secure it, to be honest with you. No utility on the Na'Vi side. A chance they give this one up. Can't save the weapons here, boys. You've got to go for it with just 1 kit and damage inflicted, but kill by kill. They're getting back into it now. Through the squeaky door they go.
Hit on Nexa. It's going to be crucial. It's been taken away from him. Pushing in. Amanek falls. It's confirmed. A 16-4. Na'Vi, I don't think anybody expected to see semi-final form again here in the grand finals, but map 1 is a good indication that they have managed to trap that lightning in a bottle.
Yes, they absolutely have. Boomich, the MVP of that map. What an absolute monster. 30 kills to his name, managing just to run over them time and time again on the pick of G2 no less as well. It does not set the tone well for G2 going forward as we go to Dust 2. A home map for Na'Vi at this stage. I don't know what's going to happen there, but G2 need to wake up. We'll take a break and be back with the analyst desk very shortly.
Скинул уже время. Скинул время. Сколько там получилось? Сколько их получилось? Ты вот это фотку типа? Давай. Где мой телефон?
Reminded myself to just let go. Don't wonder how far I can fall. Don't look down, never fade out. And I just wanna be someone and never fall behind again. Just keep on moving on. Never look down, never fade out. Never fade out.
Well, the first map of this series started and finished almost in that order as quickly as it possibly could. We're going to see a very dominant side right now from Nami. They look like they have all of the answers, and especially a player known as Boomich. Now, we've got Chad on the Telestrator. He's going to be breaking down some of his actions.
Yeah, well, Boomich basically destroyed this game plan of G2 in the very early stages here of this map. So we're going to jump into Skybox and break some stuff down for you. We saw a lot of the wall smokes from G2, pretty standard, right? They want to throw these yard smokes, you can see it, they're going to cross over towards Secret. I showed you some highlights yesterday of Na'Vi stopping them before they could get under. Well, they had a different approach this time around, and that name coming to mind was Boomich, dropping towards that lower site and throwing that smoke that Henry and Machine were highlighting round after round. So we're going to jump to this POV so you can see the action going down. Boomich will drop that smoke. This rotation coming in right here from G2 has to respect it. You never want to be running through a smoke into that lower bomb site. But in this round particularly, Boomich is actually going to have Flamey drop lower as well. So they're going to have two guys who are going to be able to defend this lower bomb site. Now, I'm going to show you a second clip after to show you why this is possible. This time around, they do an assertive play, they nade through, they push the smoke, everything's good. Let me show you why they can rotate two players to the lower bomb site. We're going to flick over now to this POV, and this is where Electronic and Simple are hugely important. So what I want to focus on in the early stages of this round here is Electronic, who's going to be playing this main position. Let's do this, sorry. He's going to be here in main, and what he's looking at is the cross towards warehouse. He can make sure that no players are able to get around to ladder, which means they can drop more players lower. Then what we can focus on is going to be Simple. The camera is about to move for you, ladies and gentlemen. And Mr. Simple, he's going to come top, he's going to throw a smoke, he's going to help out Perfecto, who can now solo top site, and then go over and babysit ramp. So they've basically just moved their puzzle pieces around with that information and been able to destroy G2's rotations and hedge their bets towards that lower bomb site, making their life very, very easy, Trace.
Yes, making it look simple even if you might want to go that route with the Jacob.
Ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous from Na'Vi one more time. We questioned ourselves yesterday if that game against Navi, or sorry, that game against Astralis was a fluke. I think after this one, it's safe to say that Navi's here to win the entire tournament. Navi really showed up yesterday, and they're playing some of the best Counter-Strike that we probably have ever seen Navi play in history of that brand. So, just to touch on Boomage as well, 9 in 9 for opening goals, right? 9 multi-kills. He finished with 32 kills in such a short game. I believe, without knowing this is true, 2.58 rating as per True HLTV. That gotta be the highest rating a single player has ever had in a grand final of this caliber. That was absolutely outstanding for Boomage, and probably something that we have never ever seen in history of Counter-Strike Global Offensive. So we really gotta appreciate that.
161.7 ADR. What
Yeah.
the hell's that all about,
Yeah,
Chad?
just another manhandling, right? I think it's insane that they can come out and do this. Just before we got into the game, I was talking about the fact that Navi gets started on that CT side, right? And that's where you want your individuals of this caliber to be starting, but I didn't expect a half like that. I didn't expect them to shut them out in that regard. Now, I think if you are that of G2, you can shake that off pretty easy. You started T-side Nuke, there's probably a couple of those grand final nerves. These rookies, right? They're going into Dust 2. It's the map they played the most, you know? I'm interested to see. I think they can bounce back.
Yeah, they're going to have to look to bounce back. Nuke is certainly done with, and we have Navi on the sides with Frankie. What do they got to say?
I'm with a man that it's always lovely to meet, although I wouldn't want to encounter him on a ramp. Flamey, how did you get so good at that role on the CT half?
I think after game versus FaZe, they like abused myself, and I played really bad. I discussed with our coach and just said to myself that I'm playing not that good and I should play better than this, and I should rotate better. So now after talk, it worked against Astralis, and now again.
Yeah, with the Krieg. He was just saying to me, oh, it was only a 4K. What a shame, Flamey. Now, tell me about the discipline in the team, because we're used to Navi being able to go off on their own, but today, the CT half, very restrained. Tell me about the game plan.
We discussed like 3 hours today what we're gonna do against them, and of course it's 5 maps, so we did try to discuss all 5, but we did some good work on Nuke, and especially on city side, our communication was so good, you know, and everything worked. Like everyone played out of their mind, and especially Boomage, he was like 29-6 first half, so it's kind of easier to play when the guy play like this.
And how good